You are probably very well aware of the drama that is happening at Twitter right now. It's probably fair to say that Twitter just experienced one of its most turbulent weeks in the company's history after Elon Musk first acquired a passive 9.2% stake in the business and then just a couple of days later offered to buy the entire company for $43 billion. By now we know that Twitter rejected the offer by adopting a so-called poison pill to stop Elon Musk from forcefully buying the business. But Elon Musk already seems to have a plan B, which you guessed it, he hinted at on Twitter itself. So what exactly is his plan B and what is a poison pill? Those are the topics of today's video, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright, hey there, my name is René Sellmann, and let me start this video by just quickly giving you an overview of the Elon Musk Twitter takeover drama. Here's a brief chronological overview. So Elon Musk first publicly criticized Twitter when in late March he released a series of tweets in which he compared Twitter to a town hall and that thus free speech should be protected by all means. Here Musk basically pointed out that in its current form and with the constant content moderation that is going on the platform, Twitter does not serve this, quote, societal imperative. At the 2022 TED conference in Vancouver, Musk was actually asked why he wants to buy Twitter, and he said, quote, my strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. Back in March, he also tweeted two polls, one in which he asked Twitter users if they feel Twitter adheres to the free speech principles, and another one in which he asked them if they think a new platform is needed. Then in early April, we received news that Elon Musk actually acquired a major stake in Twitter, making him the largest individual shareholder of the microblogging service. But Musk didn't announce this move himself on Twitter, but rather it was disclosed in an SEC regulatory filing. Now the SEC filing essentially revealed that the entire story started much sooner. Musk started quietly purchasing Twitter shares on January 31st and then continued increasing his stake over time. And again, he did so quietly until he passed the 5% threshold and was required to inform the SEC. But apparently, he actually missed that deadline by around 10 days. On April 4th, Musk tweeted another poll asking Twitter users if they want an edit button, essentially continuing his public criticism of Twitter's management team and the lack of innovation. Then just one day later, Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal announced that Musk will be joining the company's board of directors. However, again, just a few days later, Elon Musk actually rejected the board seat offer, probably because a seat on the board of directors would have limited him from buying more than 14.9% of Twitter's stock. And so Musk continued to criticize Twitter in a series of tweets in which he shared several suggestions outlining how he could see Twitter's platform being transformed. On April 14th, Musk then made an offer to buy the entire company for $43 billion, which translates to $54.20 per share, and which represented a 38% premium over Twitter's closing price on the previous day. Musk also pointed out that if his offer is not accepted, he would reconsider his position as a shareholder. And this brings us to the most interesting part of this drama story. Publicly pressuring the company's board of directors to accept his offer apparently didn't help Elon Musk, because essentially the board of directors rejected Musk's offer and has decided to adopt a so-called poison pill to prevent or discourage Musk from his hostile takeover attempt. So what exactly is a poison pill strategy, which by the way is formally also known as a shareholder rights plan? Well, essentially the takeover is made more difficult as the current shareholders of the company will be allowed to purchase more shares at a lower price, a discounted price. And so by issuing new low-priced shares to existing shareholders other than Elon Musk's equity position will essentially be diluted and he will need to buy more shares to acquire a controlling stake in the company. So put differently, by increasing the number of shares outstanding, it will be significantly more costly for Elon Musk to buy Twitter. You could compare this strategy to the actions a central bank can take. The board of Twitter is essentially printing more shares, just like a central bank can print cash, and is thereby reducing the worth of each individual share and in a way causing, share inflation. And this strategy, by the way, is expected to be employed once Elon Musk's stake in Twitter increases to 15% or more. Now, you might argue that Elon Musk is essentially the richest man in the world. And why would he not be able to buy Twitter regardless of the total number of shares outstanding? Well, arguably, most of his money is tied up in an overpriced Tesla stock. And if he would decide to sell a significant portion of his stake in Tesla in a fairly short period of time, this would cause the stock price of Tesla to decline relatively sharply. Now, Twitter's board of directors was actually publicly criticized for their decision to adopt a poison pill, because the board itself only owns 0.12% of the total shares outstanding if one excludes Jack Dorsey's stake in Twitter. And Musk himself has argued that the Twitter board would be breaking its fiduciary duty if they would employ a poison pill strategy. But Musk already seems to have a plan B. Just yesterday he published yet another ambiguous tweet, tweeting "Love me tender" and 2 musical notes. But what does he mean by that? Of course, it's a song by Elvis, but I think you really have to read between the lines here. So I think he could be referring to a so-called tender offer. According to Wikipedia, a tender offer is a type of a public takeover bid. The tender offer is a public, open offer or invitation by a prospective acquirer to all stockholders of a publicly traded corporation, the target corporation, to tender their stock for a sale at a specified price during a specified time, subject to the tendering of a minimum and maximum number of shares. In a tender offer, the bidder contacts shareholders directly. The directors of the company may or may not have endorsed the tender offer proposal. Now, you might be wondering what a tender offer would actually change. How is a tender offer an effective counter to the poison pill strategy? You would think that the poison pill approach would still make it more costly to buy Twitter, as new shares would still be issued once Musk owns more than 15% of the total shares outstanding. Well, I think a tender offer would essentially require shareholders to voice their opinion publicly. Do investors want Elon to take over the company, or do they favor the board's decision and want the board, so the board of directors and the current management team, to continue their work? Let's assume that if Musk would get enough support for his tender offer, he could then claim that Twitter's board of directors is essentially standing against the will of its own shareholders, breaking its fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of shareholders. I think another alternative here could actually be that another party, maybe a private equity firm, will partner with Musk and support his offer financially. Silver Lake Partners, for instance, comes to mind, which was planning to co-invest with Elon Musk in 2018, when he was actually already considering taking Tesla private. So this is my take on the whole Elon Musk Twitter drama. And just to be clear here, I'm no legal expert, and while Musk may be alluding to a tender offer with his "Love me tender" tweet, he may just as well have just quoted a song he was listening to.